All right, let me set the scene for you. Imagine this. It's 3 a.m. and I'm standing in the pouring rain, holding an old, battered guitar case, staring at the neon sign of the emergency room. The case isn't mine. It belongs to Jamie, my best friend since we were both 5 years old. Tonight, Jamie should have been on stage, playing their heart out at the biggest gig of their life. Instead, I'm here, alone, shivering and scared out of my mind. The guitar case feels heavier than it should, but maybe that's just the weight of the secret it holds, a secret that could change everything between us. See, Jamie and I have always been inseparable. We grew up together, navigating the chaos of life side by side. We were both misfits in our own ways, Jamie with their eclectic style and musical talent, and me with my quiet demeanor and love for art. We found solace in each other's company, a safe haven from the world's judgments. But tonight, everything has spiraled out of control. Just hours ago, Jamie was backstage, tuning their guitar, nervous but excited. I was there, as always, offering support and encouragement. But then, out of nowhere, Jamie's ex, Sarah, showed up. Sarah, the one who broke Jamie's heart into a million pieces, the one who made Jamie question their worth. She sauntered in like she owned the place, her eyes locked onto Jamie with a predatory gleam. I could see the panic rising in Jamie's eyes, the color draining from their face. And then, it happened. Jamie collapsed, their body hitting the floor with a sickening thud. Panic surged through me as I rushed to Jamie's side, pushing past Sarah, who stood there, stunned and useless. I cradled Jamie's head in my lap, their eyes fluttering open and closed, their breath coming in shallow gasps. "Stay with me, Jamie," I whispered, my voice trembling. "Please stay with me." The paramedics arrived, their sirens wailing, and as they loaded Jamie into the ambulance, I grabbed the guitar case, knowing how much it meant to Jamie. And that's how I ended up here, standing in the rain, my heart pounding with fear and uncertainty. But here's the twist. As I stood there, the rain soaking through my clothes, I realized something. In that moment of sheer terror, as I held Jamie in my arms, I felt a surge of emotion that went beyond friendship. It was a love so profound, so all-consuming, that it took my breath away. And with that realization came a wave of guilt. How could I have been so blind? How could I have missed the signs, the subtle cues that had been there all along? Jamie was more than just my best friend. They were my soulmate, my everything. And now, as I stood on the precipice of losing them, I finally understood the truth. Our love story was meant to be, and I was determined to see it through, no matter what. As I rushed into the emergency room, the sterile smell of the hospital hit me like a punch to the gut. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, casting an eerie glow on the stark white walls. I clutched Jamie's guitar case like a lifeline, my knuckles white from the grip. The nurse at the reception desk looked up, her eyes filled with a mix of sympathy and professional detachment. "Can I help you?" she asked, her voice gentle but firm. "My friend, Jamie, they were brought in by ambulance," I stammered, my voice barely above a whisper. "I need to see them." The nurse nodded, her fingers dancing over the keyboard as she pulled up Jamie's information. "They're in the ICU," she said, her expression softening. "You can go up, but only for a few minutes." "Family only." I hesitated, the word family echoing in my mind. Jamie's parents were out of town and there was no one else. I took a deep breath, steeling myself for what lay ahead. "I'm family," I said, my voice steady and sure. The nurse nodded, directing me to the elevator. As I stepped into the ICU, the beeping of machines and the hushed whispers of the medical staff filled the air. I found Jamie's room, the sight of them hooked up to monitors and Ivs sending a shiver down my spine. I approached the bed, my heart aching with each step. Jamie looked so fragile, so vulnerable, their usually vibrant energy replaced by a stillness that terrified me. I set the guitar case down, pulling up a chair to sit by their side. I took Jamie's hand, their fingers cold and limp in mine. "I'm here, Jamie," I whispered, my voice choked with emotion. "I'm here and I'm not going anywhere." In that quiet, sterile room, I found myself pouring out my heart, confessing feelings I had only just begun to understand. "I love you, Jamie," I said, my voice barely above a whisper. "I love you more than just a friend. I love you in a way that scares me, that makes me want to protect you, to be with you always." I paused, the weight of my words settling over me. "I don't know if you can hear me, but I need you to know. I need you to know that our love story was meant to be, and I'm not going to let anything stand in our way." As I sat there, holding Jamie's hand, I felt a strange sense of peace wash over me. It was as if, in that moment of vulnerability, I had found a strength I never knew I had. But just as I was beginning to find solace in my confession, the door to the room swung open. In walked Sarah, her eyes red and puffy from crying. She looked at me, her expression a mix of guilt and determination. "I need to talk to you," she said, her voice trembling. And with those words, my world was thrown into chaos once again. Sarah's sudden appearance in the ICU sent a jolt of shock through me. I stood up, Jamie's hand still in mine, feeling a protective instinct surge within me. "What are you doing here, Sarah?" I asked, my voice cold and guarded. She took a deep breath, her eyes flickering between me and Jamie, who lay still and silent on the bed. "I need to explain," she began, her voice shaky. "I never meant for any of this to happen. I didn't know Jamie would react like this." She paused, her eyes welling up with tears. "I came back because I realized I made a mistake. I still love Jamie, and I wanted to tell them that." Her words hit me like a punch to the gut. I felt a mix of anger and fear rise within me. "You can't just walk back into Jamie's life like this," I snapped. "You hurt them, Sarah. You broke their heart, and now look at them." I gestured to Jamie, their fragile form hooked up to machines, their eyes closed. Sarah looked down, her shoulders slumping. "I know," she whispered. "I know I hurt them, but I thought maybe we could have a second chance." She looked up at me, her eyes pleading. "I didn't know you felt this way about Jamie. I didn't know you loved them like this." Her words caught me off guard. I had never spoken to anyone about my feelings for Jamie, not even to myself until tonight. "How did you know?" I asked, my voice softer now, the anger replaced by confusion. Sarah gave a small, sad smile. "I saw it in your eyes tonight," she said. "The way you looked at Jamie, the way you held them. It was the same way I used to look at them. I realized then that you loved them just as much as I did, maybe even more." I felt a lump form in my throat. Sarah's words were a stark reminder of the love triangle we were now entangled in. But as I looked at Jamie, their hands still in mine, I knew I couldn't give up. I couldn't let Sarah walk back into Jamie's life and take them away from me, not without a fight. "Sarah," I said, my voice steady and sure, "I appreciate your honesty, but Jamie deserves to be with someone who will love them unconditionally, who will stand by them no matter what, and that someone is me." I took a deep breath, my heart pounding in my chest. "I'm not going to let Jamie go without a fight. I'm going to be here for them every step of the way." Sarah looked at me, her eyes filled with a mix of sadness and understanding. I see that now, she said softly, and I respect it. I just hope Jamie knows how much I cared, how much I still care. She turned to leave, pausing at the door. Take care of them, she said, her voice barely above a whisper, and with that she was gone, leaving me alone with Jamie, my heart aching with a mix of relief and uncertainty. As I sat back down, taking Jamie's hand in mine once again, I felt a renewed sense of determination. I knew the road ahead would be tough, but I was ready to face it head-on. I was ready to fight for our love story, no matter what obstacles lay in our path. And as I sat there, holding Jamie's hand, I felt a glimmer of hope. Hope that maybe, just maybe, our love story was meant to be after all. But little did I know, the night was far from over. As I sat there, lost in my thoughts, I heard a soft knock at the door. I looked up, expecting to see a nurse or a doctor, but what I saw instead sent a shiver down my spine. Standing in the doorway was a figure from our past, someone I never expected to see again, and with their arrival, our love story took yet another unexpected turn. The figure standing in the doorway was none other than Alex, Jamie's childhood friend who had moved away years ago. We had all been inseparable once, the three of us against the world. But life had taken us in different directions, and we had lost touch over the years. Seeing Alex now, standing there with a look of concern etched on their face, sent a wave of nostalgia and confusion crashing over me. "Alex," I whispered, my voice barely audible, "what are you doing here?" Alex stepped into the room, their eyes flickering between me and Jamie. "I heard what happened," they said, their voice soft but steady. "I had to come, I had to see Jamie." They paused, their gaze lingering on Jamie's still form. "How are they?" I took a deep breath, the weight of the night's events pressing down on me. "They're stable," I said, "but they haven't woken up yet. The doctors are running tests, trying to figure out what caused the collapse." Alex nodded, their expression grave. "I'm so sorry," they said. "I should have been here. I should have been there for Jamie." Their words struck a chord within me. I had always felt a pang of guilt for not being able to protect Jamie from the pain of their past, from the heartache that Sarah had caused. But seeing Alex now, hearing the regret in their voice, made me realize that we all had our own burdens to bear. "You're here now," I said, my voice gentle. "That's what matters." Alex looked at me, their eyes filled with a mix of gratitude and determination. "I am," they said, "and I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be here for Jamie, just like you are." Their words sent a ripple of unease through me. I had just found the courage to confess my feelings for Jamie, to fight for our love story. And now, Alex was here, complicating things even further. But I pushed the thought aside, focusing on what was truly important, Jamie's recovery. "We should let Jamie rest," I said, standing up. "The doctors said they need time to heal." Alex nodded, their eyes lingering on Jamie for a moment longer before turning to follow me out of the room. As we stepped into the hallway, the sterile smell of the hospital hitting us once again, I felt a sense of camaraderie with Alex. We had both loved Jamie in our own ways, both wanted the best for them. And in that moment, I knew that we would stand united, no matter what challenges lay ahead. But as we made our way to the waiting room, the night took yet another unexpected turn. My phone buzzed in my pocket, and I pulled it out, my heart sinking as I saw the name on the screen. It was Jamie's mom, calling from out of town. I took a deep breath, steeling myself for the conversation ahead. "Hello," I answered, my voice trembling slightly. "Hi, sweetheart," Jamie's mom said, her voice warm but worried. "I just got your message. How is Jamie? What happened? I took a deep breath, the events of the night rushing back to me in a whirlwind of emotion. Jamie's in the hospital, I said, my voice steady despite the turmoil within me. They collapsed backstage before their gig. The doctors are running tests, but they are stable for now. There was a pause on the other end of the line, and I could hear the worry in Jamie's mom's voice as she spoke again. I'm on my way, she said. I'll be there as soon as I can. Just take care of my baby, okay? Take care of Jamie. I will, I promised, my voice filled with determination. I'll take care of Jamie no matter what. As I hung up the phone, I felt a renewed sense of purpose. I knew that the road ahead would be challenging, that there would be obstacles and heartaches along the way. But I also knew that our love story was worth fighting for, that Jamie was worth fighting for. And with Alex by my side and Jamie's family on their way, I felt a glimmer of hope. Hope that maybe, just maybe, our love story was meant to be after all. But little did I know, the night was far from over. As I sat there in the waiting room, my mind racing with thoughts of Jamie and our future together, I heard a soft knock at the door. I looked up, expecting to see a nurse or a doctor, but what I saw instead sent a shiver down my spine. Standing in the doorway was a figure from our past, someone I never expected to see again. And with their arrival, our love story took yet another unexpected turn. As I sat in the waiting room, the hum of the hospital machinery a constant reminder of where we were, I couldn't shake the feeling of unease that had settled over me. Alex sat beside me, their presence both comforting and confusing. We had shared so much history together, the three of us, and now with Jamie fighting for their life, it felt like the past was colliding with the present in the most unexpected ways. Just as I was lost in thought, the door to the waiting room swung open, and in walked a figure I hadn't seen in years. It was Lily, Jamie's first love, the one who had broken their heart long before Sarah ever entered the picture. Lily's eyes scanned the room, landing on me and then on Alex. Her expression was a mix of surprise and concern. "Lily," I whispered, standing up, my mind racing with 1,000 questions. "What are you doing here?" Lily took a deep breath, her eyes filled with a mix of sadness and determination. "I heard about Jamie," she said, her voice soft but steady. "I had to come, I had to see them." The room felt like it was spinning. Lily, Sarah, Alex, and me. It was like a reunion of everyone who had ever played a significant role in Jamie's life, all converging at this critical moment. I felt a pang of jealousy and protectiveness surge within me. Jamie was mine to protect, mine to love, and yet here were all these people from the past, each with their own claims on Jamie's heart. "Lily, it's been a long time," Alex said, their voice neutral but their eyes watchful. "Jamie's in the ICU, they are stable, but we don't know much more yet." Lily nodded, her gaze flickering between Alex and me. "I just want to see them," she said, her voice pleading. "I need to know they are okay." I hesitated, the weight of the night's events pressing down on me, but I couldn't deny Lily the chance to see Jamie, not after everything they had been through together. "Come on," I said, leading the way back to Jamie's room. As we entered the ICU, the beeping of the machines and the hushed whispers of the medical staff filled the air once again. Jamie lay still, their eyes closed, their breath steady but shallow. Lily approached the bed, her eyes welling up with tears. "Jamie," she whispered, her voice choked with emotion. I'm so sorry for everything." I watched as Lily took Jamie's hand, her fingers trembling. It was a stark reminder of the love that had once existed between them, a love that had been shattered by time and circumstance. But as I stood there, watching Lily pour out her heart, I felt a renewed sense of determination. I knew that I loved Jamie more than anyone else ever could, and I was willing to fight for that love, no matter what obstacles lay in our path. Just then, a nurse entered the room, her eyes scanning the three of us with a mix of sympathy and professional detachment. "I'm sorry, but only family is allowed in the ICU," she said, her voice gentle but firm. Lily looked up, her eyes filled with tears. "I understand," she said softly. She turned to me, her expression pleading. "Take care of Jamie," she said. "Please take care of them." I nodded, my heart aching with a mix of relief and uncertainty. "I will," I promised. "I'll take care of Jamie no matter what." As Lily left the room, Alex and I were left alone with Jamie once again. The weight of the night's events settled over us like a heavy blanket, the emotions of the past and present intertwining in a complex web. But as I looked at Jamie, their hand still in mine, I felt a glimmer of hope. Hope that maybe, just maybe, our love story was meant to be after all. But the night was far from over. As Alex and I sat there, lost in our thoughts, the door to the room swung open once again. This time it was Jamie's doctor, her expression grave but hopeful. "I have some news," she said, her voice steady and sure. And with those words, our love story took yet another unexpected turn, one that would change everything we thought we knew. The doctor's words hung in the air like a suspended note, waiting to be resolved. Alex and I exchanged a glance, our hearts pounding with a mix of anticipation and fear. The doctor stepped further into the room, her eyes scanning the charts in her hands before looking up at us. "Jamie's test results are back," she began, her voice calm and measured. "It appears that the collapse was due to a previously undiagnosed heart condition. It's serious, but treatable. Jamie will need surgery, and the recovery process will be long and challenging." The news hit me like a punch to the gut. A heart condition, surgery, the words swirled in my mind, each one heavier than the last. But amidst the fear and uncertainty, there was a spark of hope. Jamie could be treated. Jamie could recover. "What do we need to do?" I asked, my voice steady despite the turmoil within me. The doctor looked at me, her expression filled with a mix of sympathy and determination. "Jamie will need a lot of support," she said, "both emotionally and physically. The surgery is scheduled for tomorrow morning. Until then, Jamie needs rest and calm." I nodded, my mind racing with thoughts of the journey ahead. I knew that I would be there for Jamie every step of the way. I would be their rock, their support, their everything. And as I looked at Alex, I saw the same determination reflected in their eyes. "We'll be here," Alex said, their voice filled with resolve. "We'll be here for Jamie no matter what." The doctor nodded, a small smile playing on her lips. "That's what Jamie needs," she said. "That's what will help them through this." As the doctor left the room, Alex and I were left alone with Jamie once again. The weight of the news settled over us, but with it came a renewed sense of purpose. We knew what we had to do, and we were ready to face it head-on. I took Jamie's hand in mine, feeling the warmth of their skin, the steady beat of their pulse. "We're here, Jamie," I whispered. "We're here, and we're not going anywhere. We'll fight this together just like we've fought everything else. Our love story is meant to be, and nothing is going to stand in our way." Alex nodded, their eyes filled with a mix of determination and emotion. "We'll be here," they said. every step of the way. And so, as the night wore on, Alex and I sat by Jamie's side, our hearts filled with hope and love. We knew that the road ahead would be challenging, that there would be obstacles and heartaches along the way. But we also knew that our love story was worth fighting for, that Jamie was worth fighting for. As the first light of dawn began to filter through the hospital windows, I felt a sense of peace wash over me. I knew that, no matter what challenges lay ahead, we would face them together. We would fight for our love story, for our future, for Jamie. And so, our journey continues. If you've been touched by our story, if you've felt the roller coaster of emotions that we've been through, then we invite you to stay with us. Subscribe to our channel, watch our videos, and comment down below with your favorite part of the video. Let us know that you're with us, that you're supporting us, that you're fighting for love just like we are. Because in the end, love is what binds us all. Love is what makes us strong, what makes us brave, what makes us who we are. And our love story, from best friends to lovers, was meant to be. It was meant to be, and we're going to see it through, no matter what. So stay with us. Stay with us on this journey of love, of hope, of courage. Stay with us and let's fight for love together. Because in the end, love is all that matters. Love is all that we need.